So Gavin Newsom's up for recall, and here's Rob Reiner, king of the shit libs, said Rob Reiner on California recall election, he said, we're kind of asleep at the wheel here. We don't think of the possibility that a blue state like California, they could just remove a governor for really no reason at all. Well, I retweeted this and I said, California continues to have the highest poverty level in the nation. For no reason at all, Rob. I guess if you're a millionaire your whole life, you don't know that there's poverty. Why is it so easy to get Gavin Newsom's recall on the ballot in California? How about 3.5 million Californian families? Jobs don't cover the high cost of living. That's not 3.5 million people. That's 3.5 million families who have jobs, and their jobs don't pay them enough to afford a life in California. They can't afford things they need to live, like medical care, housing, transportation, and food. They can't afford that living in California. That's maybe another reason why Gavin Newsom is so easily going up for a recall. How about for California governor, the coronavirus message is do as I say and not as I dine. A meal at the French Laundry, a junket to Maui. California's Democratic leaders have put strict measures in place. If only they would follow them. That's right. I think this is one of those times when you step in it so much that you got to buy a whole nother pair of shoes. So this is him having this dinner without masks when he told everybody else to have masks and don't get together. And who is he there with? The president of Consumer Watchdogs talks to us. Governor Newsom's damaged credibility, and he thinks California's Medical Association should fire reps who attend the dinner. Here's a closer look at that Janice Norman, a top lobbyist for the California Medical Association, who was sitting right next to Governor Newsom. So a top lobbyist for the California Medical Association is at that dinner sitting right next to Governor Newsom. Who's on his other shoulder? Newsom's other side is CEO of the California Medical Association, Dustin Corcoran. So and now you know why and guess what? He never pushed his single payer that he ran on. Isn't it weird? He's dining maskless while he's telling everyone else to wear a mask and don't congregate. He's doing it with the people who are screwing you and keeping you away from health care. He's at the most expensive restaurant in the whole nation with medical lobbyists to screw you out of health care. And that's exactly what they're doing. And they're breaking their own rules to do it. The squeeze is on. Amid a recall threat, Newsom faces single payer dilemma. Gavin Newsom campaigned for governor promising single-payer health care in California. 3 years later, where is it? Newsom slow rolls single-payer health care promise. Isn't that something? How about with and then here's another reason why it could be recalled. He didn't follow through on that. We got the most poverty in the nation. He's sitting out there dining with the people screwing you by your health care at the most wealthiest restaurant in the whole world, not wearing a mask. And now, we got to vote blue because of the environment. 360 new fracking events approved so far this year. With new permits, Newsom wraps up fracking in California. 360 new fracking events. Okay. How about climate change is real? That's after he just did this. After he approves all the fracking, he then tweets out climate change is real. That's I don't know. I find that to be kind of amazing. I don't know. So stop giving out fracking permits. Josh Androsky says, hey, Gavin Newsom, free political tip. If you want to definitely not get recalled, you should make sure this California legislature passes the Medicare for All bill it's currently debating and then sign that shit into law. If you do that, I guarantee you'll win. So this is the things that he won't do that he should do. And that's why Democrats are might lose the governorship to a radio show host buffoon. Okay. Not that Gavin Newsom is any less of a buffoon than Larry Elder. But here we go. Listen to AOC, grab your ballot, vote no, and mail it in by 7. Here's what she says.
Now listen, if you live in California, there's probably a ballot in your mailbox on a recall election. Please find that thing, vote no, stick that sucker right back in your mailbox because the options are back.
Oh, what happened? I don't know what happened. So that video ended. I don't know why it ended prematurely, but it did. Well, this is what I like these tweets. It says, y'all fighter who was sent. You're a fighter who was sent to Washington to fight the establishment, literally simping for the establishment. Here's another one. AOC raising more awareness for keeping a corrupt politician in power than she did the Medicare for All marches. Isn't that amazing? Yes. We need people who wear abolish ICE hats, not to vote for ICE budgets and for increased funds for the Capitol Police. That was pretty ballsy of her to do that, right? To wear that abolish ICE hat as she funds ICE and voted for $2 billion more for the cops in America and developed a new agency. And let's remember, if the squad used their votes correctly, if they voted as a block and used their leverage, as the Punch Bowl newsletter told everybody, which is a mainstream newsletter, not a crazy lefty one, says the squad, if it chooses, could run the House. They could, if they chose. They have immense power, and they won't exercise it. But you have to vote for Governor Newsom, as Hassan points out. If Larry Elder wins, Dianne Feinstein will pass away. She's 700 years old. And Larry will appoint a psychotic Republican to the Senate, completely destroying the already fragile 50-50 Democrat majority. Oh, my God. So you got to vote Democrat because something crazy, something worse than Dianne Feinstein's going to happen? How could that possibly be? The thing about Democrats is that they will always have some sort of Damocles hanging over voters' heads, and the only outside stimulus they respond to is when people refuse to be extorted this way. So the only way you're ever going to get Gavin Newsom or any Democrat to do anything you want is to stop voting for them and stop donating to them. Yes. You have to do it for at least one election cycle. So, hey, if you're so worried about Dianne Feinstein's Senate seat, shouldn't Dianne Feinstein step down now and let Governor Newsom go ahead and appoint her replacement? Why are they rolling the dice? That's because they know you won't vote for them unless they have these things hanging over your head, and then they get elected and screw you. Okay, damn, you mean she won't? Sounds to me like they're playing you for fools. That's exactly what's happening. They're once again, playing you for fools. And I like this. So no minimum wage increase then? No. No rent moratorium extension? No. A college debt cancellation? No. No Roe versus Wade codified? No. No $2,000 stimulus check? No. No wealth tax? No. No universal income? No. No unemployment insurance renewal? No. No Medicare for all? No. No Green New Deal? No. Oh, wait, we won't get anything we need anyway. So why don't you quit fear-mongering people about fucking Gavin Newsom? We're not going to get any of that shit anyway. If you vote for a Democrat. And it's such a heart-wrencher for me because I want Gavin Newsom. There's a big part of me that wants Gavin Newsom to remain governor of California because the Democrats have no excuse in California. The Democrats have the Democratic governorship, the Democratic House and Senate. They have a supermajority. They could do whatever they want, and we still don't have any of this shit, and we're number one in poverty. Yay! Number one in fracking. Yay! Number one in corruption. Yay! Number one in our leaders not following their own COVID rules as they sell you out to lobbyists. Yay! So that's why it breaks my heart. I so want to see the Democrats get taught a lesson, but I also want to see the Democrats have to defend this state. And I don't want them to have a boogeyman to be able to distract you and say, oh, this is all the fault of Larry Elder and the Republican, one Republican, instead of them who've been running this state with a supermajority and have run it into the ground. Let me bring in Nick Swartzen, Paula Jean Swearengin, and Zainab Day, Nick, what did I say? Nick Swartzen, my favorite comedian. I called you Nick Swartzen. Nick Brana. And now they're doing what the squad won't do and what AOC won't do. They're on the Capitol steps getting arrested, doing a real protest about the eviction moratorium and raising our moral consciousness to do it. So how do you feel about AOC's, let me ask you, Paula, you know her, you ran as a Justice Democrat. You guys are in movies. So what did you think about AOC? Instead of talking about what you're doing and talking about the eviction moratorium, she's there simping for a corrupt Democrat.
Well, I think I want to apologize. I tweeted it out today. I want to apologize to everybody that listened to me when I give out these endorsements and supported these people. It took me a minute, but it's a great disappointment. And all the other people that worked behind the scenes and worked with us, I think that, that we all apologize. If we thought it was going to be like this, then, we would have never done it. I think that's the biggest takeaway from this I'm heartbroken that millions of Americans give their their time and their hard-earned money. Old women give up their lunches. People didn't buy groceries. People didn't pay their bills in hopes that they would get true representation. And I know it's not my fault that they've taken the path that they have, but I am genuinely sorry.
Anyone else like to comment on what you just saw?
Zaina worked with them too, so.
Oh, Zaina, go ahead.
Well, I helped with the Abolish ICE rollout. And, I remember the day after, it was maybe 2 or 3 days after she won her primary, Corbin Trent calls us and tells us that he's going down to the border, right, with Alex, and they're going to take some photos. And I was like, oh, great. Well, are you guys going to show up with Anthony Clark, Amy Villela, and others that are about to get arrested, actually protesting in front of, a detention center? No, there's too many interviews, right? We gotta go on late night TV. We don't have time to actually get arrested and go and protest. And then later, my suspicions were proven right. I thought it was just going to be a photo op when Alex is standing in front of a fence crying and there's nothing on the other side. How shameful is that for the people that were getting arrested for this platform coming out of brand new Congress, which she signed on to? That's where Abolish ICE kind of originated that year. And all of the candidates signed on to it, and some of them were out there getting arrested while she's out there doing photo ops. I felt like it's the same thing. Go out there and shill for Gavin Newsom while wearing a hat that proves your progressive creds. Sorry, a hat ain't enough. A photo op ain't enough.
Well, I think that her Abolish ICE hat should have had a question mark on it, right? I think she wants us to think that there's somebody else who has the ability and the power to abolish ICE. No, you're an elected member of House. You're one of those powerful 535 people in the whole nation. It's up to you to abolish ICE. It's up to you, the party in power, to abolish ICE. Not for a hat company to do it. So that's all just a virtue signal. And of course, they're not going to abolish ICE. And she never mentioned it. So anyway, Nick, would you like to say something?
What stands out to me, Jimmy, is something that I've heard Richard Wolff say in regard to Bernie, and it applies as much to the squad, and that is that they are not willing to practice the politics that would produce the political results and the policies that they claim to believe. And he talks about how in other countries, and we have a two-party system, they have more multi-party systems, but in other countries, you work, the different factions of the left or different political factions will work together in order to be able to apply pressure for the policies that they believe in. And so the most effective thing that the squad could be doing right now is joining us at the People's Party or starting a third party themselves, because that's how you actually wield power. You know who knows how to do that? Donald Trump. Donald Trump in 2015, when he was running, Bernie Sanders said, hey, if you cheat me, Hillary Clinton, I'm going to reward you by endorsing you in the private, And so the Democratic Party said, so if we cheat you, you're going to reward us and you're going to support Hillary in the end? Okay, we'll do that. And they did it twice. Donald Trump did something very different. He said in December of 2015, if you don't give me a fair primary process, I'm running independent. I'm running a third party. I'm going to blow up your damn party. You know what they did? He became president.
That's
right. Make sure that it's a third party that's not a political arm to the establishment, because we have enough of those too, like the Working Families Party.
Right.
That's right.
He did it again. When they threatened to impeach him over January 6th, what did Trump do? He said, you impeach me, I'm going to start the Patriot Party. I'm going to start a third party. He said, if you censure me so I can't run again, I'm going to start a third party. Guess what? He got what he wanted. He didn't get impeached. He's going to be able to run again if he chooses. So the squad could be doing that, and they're choosing not to. That is what they could be doing. They could be saying, threatening to join us. They could be here doing an action with us. That's how we'd be getting housing for all. That's how we'd be getting good paying jobs for all. And they're not doing that. Instead, they're in fucking California supporting Gavin Newsom and corporate Democrats and giving money to corporate Democrats and protecting them from the primary challenges that they got into 2 years ago to replace them with.
All right. I want to say thank you for coming, for doing what you're doing. Thanks for coming on the show to talk about it. Nick Brana, Zainab Day, and Paula Jean Swearingen, thanks so much. And you're welcome back on the show. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon again to get an update. Okay, thanks very much. The Jimmy Dore Show is coming to a city near you August 28th. We're in Las Vegas at the Plaza, and we just added another show in Portland. We're there in Portland on September 10th and 11th. October 3rd, we're at Harlow's in Sacramento. More dates being added. Go to jimmydoorecomedy.com for a link for all tickets. See you at a live show.